love subscription boxes. I've done all of y'all's at one point or another. Y'all have tons of great ones. It's just so fun and so important to me to do something every day that brings you joy. Even if it's just for an hour a day, sit down and do it, something for yourself. I am doing my first ever like red, white, and blue quilt. I've not ever made one. So it's Jubilee is what I'm doing. Beautiful fabrics. I can't wait to get started. So I'm happy. I think it's going to turn out really pretty with these colors.
Hey guys, it's Beth Goody from Goody Goods. I am taking over social media this weekend here at Cotton Cuts, and I'm super excited for this opportunity. But this weekend is all about Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery with Tree of Life starting here very soon. I have a few mystery clues to put together from Carnival, and so we are going to do a great Cotton Cuts catch up, okay? We're going to catch up on Carnival before the first clues of Tree of Life come, because I don't want to be behind on one when one's about to begin. That is just not acceptable. So follow along with me this weekend here on this page to watch me catch up on Carnival Puzzle Mystery, and let's see how long it takes, okay? Because the best part about Cotton Cuts, I think we can all agree, is that the clues come pre-cut, okay? So that saves me a ton of time, and it's going to make catching up a whole lot easier. All right, bye guys.
Oh my gosh, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. It is 9:30 a.m. Those clips are amazing. I am super excited. Today is a crazy day. We have so many fantastic things to share with you today. We've got lots of crazy stuff happening in the shop. We have pallets of goods getting shipped out the door, finding their way to your homes. And we are joined today by an extra special guest. Rachel is joining us from Dress a Girl Around the World. We get to hear all about her incredible organization, all the fantastic work that she is doing. Oh my gosh, it is like mind-blowing how awesome today is going to be. So, as always, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. I hope everyone is having a great day. I see lots of fantastic comments. Yeah, finally, it's February. Holy cow. Did January feel like it was like not just 31 days, but like 62 days? January felt very long. I think at where everyone was that I was working with, it was like minus 28 degrees. But today here in St. Louis, it's going to be like 65. So welcome to winter in St. Louis. We are going to start, as we do every show, with questions that have been submitted by you guys. So to submit a question for a future live, simply head to cottoncuts.com/live. Enter a question. If you're working on something and you get stumped or you need some help and you want us to answer it, put it in cottoncuts.com/live. We can always ask the community as well. We've got lots of super awesome people here who are encouraging and willing to support and engage with everybody. So these questions literally just handed to me. Paula chucked them off the screen to me over here. Holly Baxter from Tallahassee, Florida. Hello, Holly. I hope things are warm in Tallahassee in the Panhandle. What batting do you recommend for your quilt? I've heard of 80-20, all cotton or all polyester. Is there more? And which do you recommend? Okay, so batting is like a lot of things with quilting. It all depends on personal preference, first of all. And then the second is, what is the use of your project? And then the third is, what can you afford? So I think once you look at your project and how often is it going to be used? If this is a quilt that's just going to hang on a wall, you don't have to get super durable, super expensive batting. It can be something that can be thin. It doesn't need to be any expensive material because it's just going to be hanging there. If it's something like a baby quilt that you expect to get vomit and all sorts of gross things on and be washed repeatedly, you want it to be higher quality and you want it to be more durable. When I first started out, I didn't have a lot of money to quilt. So I used the poly batting, the synthetic material batting, because that's the only thing that I had access to. And I used like high loft stuff. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say my batting I used in my quilts was this big when I first started out. And I thought that was all there was because that's all I had access to. And that worked. And those quilts I still have today, they are running a little thin. That batting did wear down over time, but it was what I could afford and it's what fit for the project I had. Now I use a lot of cotton batting. And so I always look for sales at Joann's and I buy it by the bolt. Now, wasn't until just recently that I learned that you can get warm and natural in white and natural and black. And so that's an important distinction, because if you're sewing with a lot of dark fabrics, like a lot of people do these days, having that black batting in the middle helps, because when you're quilting it, it won't pull through to the bottom. Um, Really, I think, I mean, I would love to hear from the group that is watching, that is commenting, what your batting preference is. To me, it really depends on what is your project, what is it to be used for, and what can you afford. There's no quilting police here. I've actually heard of people putting like felt in the middle, of putting fleece blankets in the middle. There's lots of different ways that you can put things into the middle of the quilts. I know, and this is something I've heard. I am not a quilt historian, but back in the 1800s, quilts were filled with letters and were filled with pieces of paper that the quilters had access to, right? They didn't have access to big bolts of cotton batting, and so they filled it with what they have. And that is something that you have access to it, right? That's super important, and it's a good way to kind of date a quilt. When they take those quilts apart, they can actually read the date on the letters to determine the age of the quilt. There's a whole science and a whole theory there that we can go down that rabbit hole. But in general, it's those kind of three elements. What is the project? What is it going to be used for? And what can you afford, and what can you purchase? Thank you for the question, Holly. I appreciate it. Okay, Robin Werping says, I absolutely love the puzzle mystery quilt, and that the pieces all come pre-cut. I'm a big fan as well. That is awesome. All right, I can't wait to begin Tree of Life. My question is, do you recommend a certain stitch length? Oh, okay. So stitch length. So for those that might not know, so stitch length determines the amount of distance that your needle will travel before it actually goes through your fabric again. And so most sewing machines, when you turn them on, will default to a standard stitch length. It's off the top of my head, and someone will have a comment. I think it's like 3.2 in some unit of measure. So usually when you turn on your sewing machine, that is a standard stitch length. That is what I've always used for the puzzle mystery quilt. I know for certain applications, like if I'm doing foundation paper piece, I shrink that stitch length down really far, because I want it to pierce more frequently so I can tear away the paper easier. I know when I'm stitching on binding, I can make it a little longer. If I'm quilting, I also make that a little longer as well. It doesn't need to puncture as frequently. And so in those cases, it really, for everything PMQ, it's standard. If we shrink it down to what I would use for foundation paper piecing and make a mistake, it's going to shred the fabric. It's going to make a big mess, and it's going to create a lot of extra work for you if you accidentally make a mistake. Not that that ever happens, but just in case it does, it's going to create a lot more extra work for you. And you don't want it to be too far apart, because you don't want it to fall apart. So I've always just used the default. I'm sure if you look at your sewing machine, and do a whole bunch of do a little bit of internet research, it'll tell you what the standard stitch length is. That's what we recommend for the puzzle mystery quilt. All right, so thank you guys so much for all of the questions that were submitted. I love learning new things, and so I can't wait to hear. I see a lot of comments talking about batting. Some people use bamboo batting. That is actually new. Bamboo batting is great for high level insulation. If you're sending a quilt up to Alaska, you're going to want a different batting than if you're sending a quilt to Tallahassee, where Holly was emailing us from. So definitely also consider where your quilt will be used to determine the batting that you would like. Okay, I have a note on here. So Becca, she somehow, I have no idea how, got access to our passwords and took over all of our social media channels last weekend, and she gave away fabric. And so the winner that we will be sending fabric to is C. Shelly QBQ. Congratulations, you have won a bundle for following Becca on our channels. And for those of you that saw the intro to the live, Beth from Goody Goods is going to be taking over our channel this weekend, and she has a fantastic project idea, guys. She is doing a catch-up weekend for Carnival. So follow her all weekend. She's going to be catching up on Carnival before Tree of Life comes in the mail to her. So definitely follow her channel. She's going to have tips and tricks, and she's fun, and all of her videos have, like, she knows video stuff, so she's got little emojis and dancing dudes, and so this is fun. You're going to definitely want to check her out. She, again, somehow stole our passwords. So follow her this weekend, and I'm sure she's going to give away some stuff as well. Okay, so we are only streaming live this morning on Facebook and on YouTube. We wanted to make sure we could get Rachel on Instagram. So we're actually going to be delaying the broadcast on Instagram. So if you're watching us on Instagram, I apologize it's not live, but we wanted to make sure that you heard everything that our guest had to say. Also, if you're watching us, I see a lot of folks putting in comments. Make sure you accept the disclaimer so we can see who you are. And so we can reply back to you. My team is watching all the comments to make sure that all your questions get answered. So what's happening in the shop this week? Lots and lots and lots of shipping. We are burning out our label shipper, people, because we are mailing all those Tree of Life quilts to everybody. We are filling up pallets and we are just moving them out this week. Our team is burning the midnight oil to make sure that all of your Clue Ones and your whole quilts get out. They are crushing it. My team is awesome, you guys. They put so much love into die cutting all these fabrics and making sure they are cut and packaged perfectly just for you. You guys, I'm going to give a shout out to my team. They are absolutely crushing it this week. Oh, okay, we're getting some woos in the background. Woohoo! All right, so yes, so you guys can't see it, but there's a team of about 10 people right now that are just cranking on the die cutters and packaging and labeling and stickering and doing artwork. They are crushing it. So it's February 1st. So we have some new announcements for this month. So our featured designer this month that we are partnering with, and you will see a couple times throughout the month, is Emily Tyndall from Homemade Emily Jane. She is fantastic. We're going to have a live with her in a couple weeks. She's going to put out posts on our social media so you get an opportunity to learn all about her. So for every person that joins our Modern Maker and our Classic membership, you will get a free pattern from Emily with part of your subscription. So be sure to sign up before those boxes ship so that way you can receive one of her patterns. Guys, I looked at them. They're awesome. They're amazing. You're not going to want to miss out on this. They are fun. I love learning about new people, and Emily is just a ray of sunshine and light. So definitely check her out. Since it's the first, we have a new Cotton Cuts Cares organization for the month of February. And so this month was recommended by one of our members. It's called Kennel Quilt. So they're an organization that makes and donates quilts to stray dogs in shelters. And so this month, for every purchase of a classic, a modern maker, a Java, and a Chroma Super Pop, we will give $5 to this organization to continue their mission. This is super awesome to me. I know I posted it out in the group that we actually have a foster dog, a stray dog that we are fostering. This dog came to us from Memphis. He was part of a dog fighting circle. It was kind of a messy story, but he is staying with us now. This type of work is fantastic and is exactly why, Cotton Cuts likes to give back, to do more than just quilting, to do good in this world. So Kennel Quilt, we're going to have a ton of information on our website, and we'll put out social media posts so you can learn more about this organization and other organizations doing other positive good near you. I also have our Java sneak peek. Java is one of my favorites, 12 fat quarters, all coordinated so I don't have to think about it. It is February also, like we've got a lot of pinks and reds and purples up in here for Valentine's Day. I like this bundle probably more than previous Februaries because it's not just the cotton candy pink and white. This one actually has like a pure red and it's got some purples in here. This one could be a Valentine's Day quilt, or it could just be a lover of pink and purple. And so definitely get in on your Javas, and $5 to go to Kennel Quilts, and it'll be awesome. Okay. Let me see. I got to make sure I've covered all of the business stuff before we get into it. Okay. So we have Rachel joining us from Dress a Girl Around the World. So just as a quick reminder, Dress a Girl was our Cotton Cuts Cares organization that we sponsored in January. And so $5 of all those memberships went to Dress a Girl. We'll get that donation closed out this week. But Dress a Girl is also our organization that we are featuring for our Give Back campaign for Cotton Cuts Collective. And so we are challenging our members to create 100 dresses in the months of January, February, and March, and send them to Dress a Girl Around the World. This is an organization, when I read their mission, it was suggested by many members. I know I'm even looking at the comments here. A lot of folks know this organization, have had dress drives local to them and given back. And so I am excited for us to help make an impact with this mission. And so with that, I would love to bring on Rachel so we can learn more about this worthwhile cause, how it got started and where it's going. Good morning, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for what you're doing for Dress a Girl.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you, Rachel. Holy cow, you are making such a positive difference in so many lives around the world. So I would love to kind of just start from the beginning. Tell us, how did you start? How did you get the idea to do this? Where did the inspiration come from to start the organization?
Well, our organization, Hope for Women International, uh, sponsors women in Uganda, and a lady brought me a pillowcase dress pattern. So the original uh, thing was we were going to train the people of Uganda how to make dresses for their girls because I'd been there and I'd seen girls just in rags. And so we brought pillowcases and taught the women on treadle sewing machines how to make these dresses.
Oh my gosh.
Then, as word got out, other people wanted to make dresses. And I said, no, the mission is just to do teach the women of Uganda. But people kept bugging me until I finally said, okay, let's send a box of dresses with a young girl going to an orphanage in Guatemala. And when she came back with pictures of these girls in their dresses, we were all hooked. And I said, I guess we're Dress a Girl around the world. And I threw up this website and it's just exploded since then.
Oh my gosh. Rachel, tell me, when was that? When did you start?
In October of 2009.
2009. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, rough estimate, how many dresses have you donated since 2009? Have you shipped?
Well, of those that have been reported to me, and I know there's a lot out there that haven't been reported,
Mhm.
It's 3,105,399 dresses to 90.
Oh, that's that. Okay, so that's it's a very specific number. I'm very proud of you for having that tracking, but that is huge. That is ginormous. That is such a huge impact. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, so what countries do you think you've had the most significant impact? And can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, since we started in Uganda, that's where I physically went and started. We've just seen the expressions on the girls. I mean, I wish you could see the pictures of them and just rags hanging on them. And then to put the new dress over whatever they're wearing and to see like their countenance picks up everything. They'll twirl in the dress. And to me, there's nothing more rewarding than putting that dress over whatever she's wearing and seeing her face light up and to let her know that she's special and that somebody handmade that dress just for her.
Oh my gosh, that's those stories, like I get all the feels. I get chills, right? Right. Just hearing you talk about this impact. So when we were looking at Dress a Girl, you guys have a very different approach to distribution, right? Because there's a lot of organizations that will centrally collect and then mail abroad. There's organizations that give you a point to mail your donations to. Tell us about how you structure Dress a Girl, why it's different, and why you do it the way you
Well, we have people hand carry the dresses
Mhm.
because that way we make sure those dresses get to the girls. Sometimes if you ship them, they never reach where they're supposed to reach. The black market picks it up, other ways pick it up. The only ones that we actually send are those that we give to Operation Christmas Child, which they, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they do like, Christmas boxes all over the world. And I have actually seen those boxes delivered in India and in Uganda. So I trust them and we will give dresses to them as many as they want.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. All right. So tell me, so what challenges are you facing, right? You've got a captive audience here at Cotton Cuts. What are some of the challenges you're facing as an organization?
Well, of course, it's always funds. We always,
Yeah.
uh, that's the challenge. But on the dresses, the pocket placement, I would say, is our biggest challenge. We have got for where the pocket should be, and we see them way up high or way down along the hemline. And you actually fold the dress in half, top to bottom, and then iron a crease, and then the pocket goes right, the top of the pocket goes right along that crease. And
Okay.
that's how we do it to make sure that pockets are right. If they come in, then we have a team here who comes in and volunteers and they'll remove the pockets, put them in the right place, but they'd rather be sewing dresses than removing
But-
pockets.
So tell us, so why is it important? So, right. So if you're getting them all over the place, so it's obviously important. Why is it important, that pocket placement?
Well, because we want all of our dresses to be uh, really top quality that you would to your daughters or your nieces. And So the pocket placement, we don't want them reaching up here to put their hands in their pocket or way down low where they can't. Pockets are pretty important to these girls because sometimes they keep their little treasures in them. That's all they have to keep their treasures in. So we really stress the pocket placement, the quality, just
Right.
so it lasts forever.
Well, and that was when we first introduced the challenge. One of the comments we received was the importance of the pocket placement and that it needed to be very sturdily attached, right? You can imagine this is going to be used frequently, a lot of things into and out of it. And so, you know, you needed to make sure it's attached very, very well, but also placed in the right place as well. Your point is super valid, right? I have boys. I would have been like, I don't even know where to place this pocket. My kids, they're going to put rocks and stuff in it. I don't know. But I think it's super important that we don't want to be sending dresses to you that you're going to have to rework or add more. We want them to get to you and make your job as easy as possible, and right out the door they go. Can we put the Project Dress a Girl website on the screen? We're getting a comment for that. So, sorry, I'm talking to my team to make sure that they know where to find you and get more information. Okay, so tell me, Rachel, so in, you know, your fast forward the clock 3 to 5 years, where are you at with Dress a Girl? What have you accomplished and what are you looking forward to?
Well, we also educate on sex trafficking when we would gather the girls together. So that's very important to us. We tell the guardians or the parents the tricks that traffickers use, and we've actually found some parents came forward and said we were ready to send our daughter because they said they were going to give her a new life and a better life, and she'd be sending money back to us. And so that's really important to us when we do the distribution, that we educate them on sex trafficking. So we'll continue in the years ahead. And then there's actually 4 billion females on the planet. So when you look at 3 million dresses given out, that's pretty little.
Oh my gosh. It's big, but
Yes.
it's small. But I mean, Rachel, don't sell yourself short. That's a big number, right? That is a number.
It is.
Yeah.
But our mission is we dream of a world in which every girl has at least one new dress. So we've got a long ways to go.
Oh my gosh. But you're on the right track, right? You're doing the right thing. You're hitting the right people, right? I think don't sell yourself short, right? I know it's easy to think of what more can we do. You've done a great amount of work, and I still see you guys doing fantastic work ahead. It's super awesome. Rachel, is there anything else you would like to share with our folks? Because they're going to go start sewing and making dresses for you.
I'm so excited that you're committing to 100 dresses for us. And I know that your followers are probably good seamstresses, and I look forward to what they're going to send. And quilters are really the most colorful dresses. You guys know how to put patterns together that if I did it, it would like what is that? But you guys are great at putting patterns together. So I thank you for it. I thank you ahead of.
This was the sample I made, Rachel. It was this one here. So yes,
so
quilters, yes. We always do the bright things, right? So quilters like the bright, big floral fabrics.
Yes. And then we ask that you can use any pattern that you like that slips over the girl's head without the use of buttons, zippers, snaps, or Velcro for closure. You can put buttons for embellishment, but for closure, because if they lose a button or the zipper breaks, the dress is ruined.
Right. And so that's why, so I made the reversible pattern. And so we got a question on the screen about how much should I buy for each dress. So I did the reversible one. And so that was 2 prints, about 3/4 of a yard. There's a lot of you guys have a fantastic collection of different dresses that'll work for it. Some have ruffles, some are t-shirt dress. I think the one thing that I learned is we should not use pillowcases. And we talked about that. Right. Because when so Jessica and I were talking about this dress challenge, and we're like looking at the shape, and we're like, oh, that's what we would have called a pillowcase dress when we were kids. And we just taken old pillowcases and cut out the arms and cut out a neck hole, and bam, we have a dress.
Yeah.
But the way that pillowcases are made today, the sizing, the thread count, the quality, it's not a good idea to do that. But if we go to the website, go to your website and our website as well, there's tons of patterns, tons of resources. It does not have to be a large amount of fabric to make a beautiful dress for these girls.
Yeah. when we first started out, we did use pillowcases, and then we realized very quickly that that was a mistake. So then we switched to all cotton or a cotton blend.
Yeah, cotton or cotton blend. So I see Melissa Fieldhouse just asked a question. So knit or just cotton or cotton blend. We definitely want to stick in those categories.
Yeah.
Durability, ease of washability, lack of stretching. We don't want anything to like stretchy wonk and then it becomes a rag that they can't actually wear.
Right.
All right. Anything else, Rachel? Anything else you'd like to leave our folks with?
No, I really, I'm excited about what you're doing, and think we covered most of the things I wanted to get out there, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
Thank you so much, Rachel. We're excited to partner with you and help you further your mission. And we'll help you get towards that 4 billion number. We're gonna do our best. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Rachel. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye. All righty, gang. Okay, so that was Rachel. She's awesome. You can reach out to her via the website and learn more about her team, cottoncuts.com/cares, or even go to Dress a Girl Around the World. You guys, this organization is great. This is part of what motivates me and my team is the fact that we give back and we want to help organizations like Dress a Girl meet their goals and meet their missions. So we love hearing all about them. As we do every live, we're going to give away some fabric. And so I showed you this lovely pinkish bundle at the beginning of the broadcast. We're actually going to give you one of these. So in order to be entered to win this, find this video on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Instagram, and go ahead and comment to us how many dresses you think you can make by March. Give us a number. Of our 100 dress challenge, how many do you think you're going to be able to get made and get to your Dress the Girl ambassador and get donated? And we'll select one random person to win this bundle. We are also, we have a couple of little things we always do at the end of the show. We are going to be drawing a leaf from those leaves that we've received in the past week for our Tree of Life. So as a quick reminder, if you're participating in the Tree of Life Puzzle Mystery Quilt, we have mailed you a scrap of fabric and you were tracing out awesome, cool leaves and signing your name and your location and sending them back. We posted pictures of those trees on cottoncuts.com, Tree of Life, and we draw a winner each week to get a fun bundle of fabric from us. And so this week, our community tree winner is Martha DeMarco from Charleston, South Carolina. Congratulations, Martha. She did this really cool leaf for everybody. Martha, you have won a free bundle of fabric. Thank you so much. Keep sending those leaves in. It's not too late. We're definitely going to keep drawing leaves and building out our community tree for at least 3 months into the mystery. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, Martha, please send us a message. My team is telling me, don't forget, Martha, send us a message. So we're going to keep building out this tree for the next couple of months because we love to see it grow. We want to see our community bloom. And hopefully by the time you start feeling that first real spring, we will have a fully developed tree that we'll get to hang up and show everyone. Now, today's February 1st. So here's my accountability. We talked at the beginning of January how I had this unfinished project challenge where each month on live here, I was going to draw one of my unfinished projects and take a month and finish it. And I introduced this awesome antique glass jar that has little wood tips of all of my unfinished projects. And at the time, I drew out one of my Bonnie Hunter quilts. And so she does a mystery quilt every fall into winter. And I had one from a couple years ago that I wanted to get finished. And that was the first chip I drew out. Okay, so this is the real world, folks. I have been busy this January. In case you guys haven't noticed, we have a few Tree of Life stuff going on up in here. It's been a little crazy busy, but I wanted to show everyone the progress I had made. And so I've actually finished all of my blocks for this quilt. So that's like, there are, I think it's something like 25 blocks needed for this quilt. So at the beginning of the month, these were all parts and pieces, guys. They were literally triangles and squares. And so I sewed them all together. I'm a little sad that I didn't get it done and together. That was part of my goal, was to take a month and finish it. But given all the stuff going on, I'm excited I made it this far. There's a whole bunch of stashing that that's already been cut and some cornerstones. So I am hoping that I only have maybe a week or two more needed to get it done. But I wanted to show everyone, like, I made some progress. I'll write about the journey. As I was opening it back up and getting back into the headspace to finish it up, why did I abandon this project? And I had a group that I was sewing with. And we were meeting and I was like, I am getting really far on this quilt. It is awesome. And then there was some in the group that finished and we disbanded. And I'm like, I wonder how many other people have started a project with a group and then not been able to finish it because the group broke up for one reason or another. And I'm like, that is something for me to keep an eye on, that if I am going to sew a project with a group, like, let's keep everyone together because then we will all finish instead of some of us finish. So I'll write more about that in the blog post as we go along. I'm excited. This block is like super fun. And I am very proud of the complexity. I went super scrappy with it. Each block is different. So hopefully next week I'll be able to show you guys the finished quilt top. Okay. So I'm going to draw another little project from here. We'll see. Okay, so the block that I've drawn for the month of February for accountability is Allison Glass tiny foundation paper piecing sewing cover. So about I think like 2 years ago, our team sponsored the Allison Glass mini project foundation paper sewing along with Giuseppe Juicy Juice. And so our team got together and we started sewing it and we were sewing along with the challenge. And then like the first project, we all wandered away from it and didn't get back to it. So this will be a fantastic prompt for me to get back to this. I'm going to take all these super teeny tiny blocks and I am going to make a sewing machine cover with it. And so that is going to be my project for this month. Hopefully when we come back March 1st, February is a shorter, longer month. It's a leap year, so 29 days. When we come back in March, I will be able to have that project to show you all as well. I hope you guys are still on track with all of your New Year's resolutions and your goals related to sewing. I am motivated this year and I am super excited with what I've been able to accomplish so far. So I hope you guys are all in that same vein. All right. That is all for us today. We had a fantastic show, lots of stuff to share. Everybody check your mailboxes over the course of the next week for those Tree of Life. If you're expecting a white box with just Cotton Cuts tape on it, you are going to be surprised. We have really upped our game for Tree of Life. It's going to be a little bundle of joy, and we can't wait to see what you guys are able to create in the next week. Join us again next week at 9:30. We also have some lives with ambassadors sprinkled out throughout the next week, so definitely follow us then, learn more about Man Who Sews, learn our Guy Who Sews, also learn more about Sew Becca and Ian. We've got all sorts of guests popping in and out, and definitely pop in the questions and ask them the question that you've always been afraid to ask them, and we will ask it live here for you. That is all, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you very soon.